Suffice to state that the anti-corruption thrust of the current administration has demonstrated vigor in both prosecution and prevention. We at the EFCC are determined to fight corruption because this menace has a direct correlation with human rights abuses, terrorism, extreme poverty, and employment. In essence, corruption echoes crimes against humanity. As such, fighting it requires galvanizing support from stakeholders and the Nigerian populace. The Nigerian populace must take ownership of the fight against corruption, and we at the forefront in the EFCC will form affidavit tranches in accordance with the rule of law in order to ensure that there is no hiding place for the corrupt. We have intensified our engagement with civil societies, religious groups, and women and youth as part of our preventive strategies in the fight against corruption. We have also made strides in our prosecution effort, which are yielding fruitful results. This year alone, from January to date alone, we secured 89 convictions so far to date. Thus, so far, we have secured, within the 2 years and a half, 486 convictions from November 2015 to date. We have recovered in different currencies, and so far have recovered more than 500 billion naira. The recoveries meant for the federal government are duly remitted to account, where recoveries for individuals and private institutions are equally paid to them in accordance with the law. We are also making strides as it relates to prosecution of high-profile cases. For the very first time, Your Excellency, in the history of Nigeria, a senior advocate of Nigeria was convicted in a case prosecuted by the EFCC. A senior advocate. A senior advocate. I therefore again restate the commitment of the Commission to the fight against corruption. We do not go after innocent citizens at all. We go after those who have stolen and arrogated them to themselves. Like Mr. President has said, and I quote, fighting corruption is key not only to restoring the moral health of the nation, but also to freeing our enormous resources for urgent socio-economic development, unquote. There is therefore no better time than now for us to intensify the fight against corruption, to ensure that the international community no longer views Nigeria as one that is fantastically corrupt. I enjoin you to continue to support our varied effort to rid our country of corruption. Before concluding, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to acknowledge the effort of the Vice President of Nigeria for his undiluted stance against corruption. I also want to extend to the National Assembly and the judiciary for their commitment toward the entrenchment of anti-corruption in Nigeria. It is also pertinent to identify with the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, and Minister of Works and Housing, and the NSA, the Attorney General of the Federation, in seeing this project comes to fruition. There are also departments such as the Federal Capital Authority, Development Authority, the Abuja Environmental Protection Board, Electricity Distribution Company, and many others. And of course, the Nigerians, every Nigerian that contributed immensely to the success of this achievement. Furthermore, it is also worthy to recognize the significance of collaboration of our international partners, civil society groups, and non-governmental organizations across the globe in the fight against corruption. I would also like to appreciate the presence of His Excellency, former President of South Africa, Mr. Thabo Mbeki, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Right Honorable Patricia Scotland, the head of anti-corruption in Commonwealth Africa. For Nigerians to take ownership of the fight against corruption. We should not leave it at the mercy of the anti-corruption. The more we mobilize every Nigerian to join in the fight against corruption, it will be very difficult for them. There will be no hiding place for the corrupt. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing. There are so many ways of killing corruption. Once again, thank you all for sharing in joys of